adjusting volume. So anyway, now it's. I will adjust it while you're speaking.
Okay.
I'm fine. Everything is all right, I think.
Yes. Well, welcome, Hillshire Media author Marek Nocon, or is that how it's pronounced, Nocon?
Nocon, yes, Nocon.
Nocon. Okay. And we're talking about your book, Wellness Prescription. So now, your journey from obesity and hypertension to health and resilience is deeply inspiring. What was the emotional catalyst that truly sparked your desire for change?
Anyway, I wouldn't call it an emotional catalyst because it wasn't emotional, because ending up at intensive care was without my knowledge. I was not aware what was going on. But if you are properly addressing this as a turning point, it was when I was home and I had all the description what they did to me, like exchanging blood completely and so on and so
Right.
forth. So then I realized that if I went through this and I'm still alive and now I'm thriving, it means that it was very inspiring for me because because it was like regaining my health
Right.
and even my second youth, if I can say so.
Yeah.
So I feel I I can call it as it was a miracle. So anyway, my perception is that I'm very calm, and whatever comes to me, I'm calm. I don't treat it emotional anymore because now I know that there are certain powers in this universe that are guarding us. So anyway, I was very happy. So
Okay. Well, now, how did your identity and self-perception evolve throughout your health journey, and how did this transform? How did this transformation impact other areas of your life?
I've just realized that after coming back from this hospital, like 2 years, after 2 years, after proper even jogging, I'm walking very powerful for 7 kilometers daily. I'm exercising. So, according to my date of birth, I'm 61, but actually, I feel like I'm 30. So,
Right.
anyway, and here it's from Ealing Marathon in London, 2019. So I received a medal. It was half
Oh,
marathon.
that's
It was
amazing.
yes. So anyway, I I had been a sportsman all my life. So I think that uh, it and I think that we have to take into consideration because my my body is strong.
Right.
So I can go through hell even I can say so, and I shouldn't compare myself to other individuals at my age. I don't want to even mention actors, but I can mention only one actor which is really good, like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
So he's doing great. But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm like him. So I'm enjoying life, and I'm reading loads of books. For example, during like every 3 days, I'm reading one book. For
That's
example, about for example English law. I have even here an American magazine about law, hot money. Very 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 difficult jargon. And I
Right.
also, so I'm reading, I'm writing, and I don't have possibilities to speak to anybody because my primary language is Polish, and from 2019 I'm in Poland, but still
Okay.
I'm enjoying my house because it has 2 floors. It's mine. It's heated by geothermal waters. I have photovoltaic cells on the roof, so it's a perfect headquarter for me to for example do some intellectual stuff to develop even more, and saying and taking into consideration that I'm over 61 and my brain isn't not like that. It means that I have a lot to do. I don't know whether I'm answering the question right now.
That's okay. No, that's fine. No, I completely understand. I myself, at one point, I'm 57, and there was a time about 12 years ago that I was 200 pounds. And when I made the change to get healthy, I've learned that, that's made a big difference in life all around. And like you said, I feel like I'm 35 years old. I feel like I'm in my 30s, and I'm making sure that I maintain keeping the weight off. So I've had setbacks now, which are a natural part of any significant change like that. Can you share a specific moment when you faced a major setback and how you found the strength to continue?
Yes, the major setback was 40 years ago when I landed up in a psychiatric ward,
Okay.
hospital. It
Right.
was 40 years ago, and despite the fact that it was 40 years ago, and usually people with mental illness have problems with
Yeah.
themselves, I graduated from 3 universities, top Polish universities like Jagiellonian University, AGH, also known in the United States, Krakow Polytechnic. So I did
Okay.
loads of stuff. So I went to UK for more than 10 years, and you know, do you see that I have some
Yeah.
problem?
No,
You,
I
you
get
know,
it. I understand. It's okay.
so
Now,
the
go
thing
ahead.
is that changing changing diet to healthy diet, because
Right.
if you open my refrigerator, it's a huge refrigerator, you won't find sausages, you won't find red meat. I only eat turkey, salmon, fish, white cheese, cottage cheese, maybe to address it properly. So I have cold pressed juicer. I mean, not with quickly rotating motor, but
Right.
it presses so that it's healthier, because if there is heat involved, there are killed some vitamins and minerals. So it's
Okay.
important cold press. Like for example,
Okay.
we have with extra virgin olive oil. It should be cold pressed, not anyway.
Oh. See, I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
know that, and I've moved to a mostly vegetarian diet. I once in a while I'll eat red meat, once in a blue moon, but I have stayed away from it. So, but I didn't know that about, that you lose nutrients by not cold pressing, your juice or your fruits and stuff for the juice. I didn't know that you lose nutrients by doing that,
Yeah,
not doing
cold
that.
pressing is good. We should cold
Okay.
press, not if a motor is rotating quickly. There is some heat,
Generates heat.
generates heat, and it's not good for vegetables, for fruits. So
Okay.
it's important. So I and on the top of that, I've got to know recently that, for example, water, if it's in plastic bottles like this one, is no
Uh-huh.
good. because there are microplastics inside.
Right.
So, so it could be, I don't know whether in this water specifically, but they mentioned it in the news, only
Right.
one. So, and they mentioned that there are microplastics, so they can be contained within one hair,
Right.
human hair. So, so it's not so significant, but I'm paying attention whatever it said. So, for example, I know that I can buy water in glass, and I will start doing this
Yeah.
because it's a recent thing. So, by saying so, even if this book was written like 4 months ago, 5 months ago, I'm still acquiring new knowledge, correcting it, but it doesn't mean that whatever is in the book is wrong. I'm just still, I'm just still
Still learning.
evolving, still learning. So
Now,
so
go ahead.
so anyway, about this major setback, which was 40 years ago. I had to stop studying. I moved to Poronin, to my house where I am now, and for like 2 years, I needed some time just to overcome all not all symptoms, but all difficulties, and I did so. But I think that the major problem is with people, because people, if they get to know about something, there are rumors, they will be forever, but now they are finished. Because
Right.
and this book, autobiography, is also about tolerance, because we can't classify people that those people are such and so, and others are in the same way. We can't categorize people, classify them, because we will always be wrong.
Right.
And there should be more tolerance, because I was in London, and it will be an autobiography. And in London, you have a huge tolerance. In Poland, it has changed, but in London, I don't know, the same would be in the United States of America, but in London, there is so huge tolerance that I can be dressed like a clown, and not that nobody would pay attention, but it wouldn't matter. You can be whatever you
There,
want.
yeah,
I'm
there's
not.
a,
Nobody cares, and,
right.
and it's a good thing. And with this comes tolerance, which is in London, but it's maybe a different topic. But it's connected
Right.
with mental illness, because I worked with autistic children, and I also did private tutoring at maths, ICT. So so I was quite good at this, and also I even have tests for
Right.
A level mathematics. So we have pure mathematics, we have mechanics, we have decision mathematics and statistics. So, but anyway, I don't want to change the
It's okay.
topic so
Now,
much.
your book touches on the importance of mental well-being. How did you cultivate a positive mindset and deal with the psychological aspects of your health changes?
The main aspect with mental illness, how to deal with this, is to not to listen to others. You don't, if others can make rumors about you, they don't have the lights. So they
Right.
don't, so you should ignore them. They do not exist. I don't have to do it anymore. But this trip to London for more than 10 years was good, because I lost contact with all those people gossiping, and now I have like a huge distance to everybody, and I'm much more stronger. And now I want to, so to say, fight with tolerance all around the
Right.
world, because I think that we judge people, certain people. It doesn't have to be with mental illness, but we judge, and we don't have the right to do so, because if somebody is not paying your bills and you have to survive on your own, they don't have the right to get into your life.
Right. Right. Now, also in your book, mindful eating is a recurring theme in your book. How did this practice change your relationship with food and what impact did it have on your overall health?
Oh, it had, first of all, it had a huge impact because I had problems with hypertension.
Right.
So by losing some pounds, it's quite complicated. By losing some pounds and changing diet, I stopped taking medication, beating hypertension on regular basis. I,
That's
I
good.
take I take them only once in a blue moon. And somebody would say that it's obvious. I know that it's obvious. I knew that, but if you experience it by yourself, it's a different story. Because if I if I've noticed that it works, I was so much empowered, and also why I'm paying attention to mindful eating. Because if for example, in the United States of America or in London, during watching movies, you're eating popcorn. So
Yeah.
if your focus, it's antithesis of what I'm advocating for. If you're eating popcorn and you're watching movies, you're concentrated on the movie and you don't realize that you're eating. So you will
Right.
overeat. So you will overeat. So it's not good. So and if you prepare something in your house and you know what kind of ingredients you put into your kettle or pan, you know exactly. You're reading labels,
Yeah.
you know what you're eating. It has fragrance, it can be tasty. So if you're eating not so much in a rush but slowly, the thing is that the signal to your brain that you are full goes like uh, 20-30 minutes later. So it
Okay.
means that if you're eating quickly, you're not realizing that you're already full.
Oh, okay.
You're overeating. So you should you should eat in such a mannerism that you're not completely full, and after 20-30 minutes you will be full. So it means
Okay.
that there is some kind of psychology involved here. So
Okay.
mindful eating is really important.
Okay. So eating for a little bit and then allowing it to be at least taking 20 minutes to do so, your mind will tell you by 20 minutes of eating that you're full.
Yeah,
So that way you
roughly.
won't continue to eat because if you eat too fast, you're going to keep consuming more food than you need to.
Yes. Oh, yes. And everything is about balance.
Right.
Everything is
Now,
about balance.
were there any pieces of advice from healthcare professionals that fundamentally changed your approach to health? And how did those insights integrate into your personal philosophy?
Um, First clue was from my cardiologist because I have enlarged aorta
Okay.
and everything is perfect. But 4 years ago, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, he told me that you must have average blood pressure 120/80.
Right.
So, so I measure my blood pressure, and at first, before going to dietitian, I regulated my blood pressure by medication according to the specification of my cardiologist. And
Okay.
later it was that by changing diet, I don't need so much that medication. But anyway, my aorta stays the same. And
Right.
because my aorta is the same, of the same size, the cross section is the same, or diameter of that cross section is the same, it means that I won't have to have a heart operation.
That's good.
So, the gravity of such situation here is really serious. But on the other hand, if you know what you're doing, and if you measure blood pressure, and usually my average blood pressure is 120/80. So anyway, and also, oh yes, and also one more important thing. Most people, especially young people, like 25, 30, 35, they can have higher blood pressure, but they don't know about this. Because
Right.
only by measuring it, you can realize that you have a blood pressure, a hypertension. So it means that it's a silent killer. So it's important to, nowadays you have smart watches which can monitor even glucose in your blood,
Right.
not only
Right.
blood pressure, but I have on my arm, on my sleeve, and I measure in a traditional way, and everything is perfect. So it's important to to do certain checks. I like, for example, 1 month ago, I gave a sample of my blood and urine for analysis. Everything is perfect. People do not do such things because they think if nothing is going on, they are healthy. But the thing
Right.
is that you have to check your health from time to time. And also, while talking about this, something like cigarettes, you're paying for cigarettes and it's ruining your health. Also, vodka, wine, uh, and not to mention drugs. Because
Yeah.
I watched Priscilla Presley, and Elvis Presley took tablets, and also I noticed it was LSD. So
Right.
so and I know also Whitney Houston. She took drugs. So it will shorten your life. So don't do this.
Right.
I'm advocating for healthy eating, healthy lifestyle, also the proper sleeping hours. I can go later at a certain day to sleep, but I have to make it up. You can't take a tablet to keep you awake, or drink Coke to keep you awake, and forget about this, because in nature there is balance. If you impact this balance in the wrong way, it will take revenge on you, on your health.
Right. Now, society often imposes pressures and expectations related to body image and health. How did you navigate these pressures, and what advice would you give to others facing similar challenges?
I'm What I said before. First of all, don't listen to what others are saying.
Right.
It's enough. It's enough that they are saying something. You can analyze this, and you have the proper strategy to get out of this difficult situation. But upon doing so, you don't have to listen to society.
Right.
It's your life, it's your business, and everybody else should just be silent. They don't have the right to criticize you and oh, Taylor Swift said something. If others, if they don't like you for being yourself, be yourself even more. I'm not saying that uh, that you should continue to be obese, for example, or not take into consideration what others are saying, but you should distance yourself from others and have certain strategy to resolve your problems. But I will say it again: if others are saying something about you and they are not paying your bills and they won't help you in any way, they don't have the right to voice themselves.
Right. Now, we know sustainable change is a significant focus in your book. What are the core principles that you believe are essential for creating lasting positive change in one's health?
The thing is that I will refer here to miracle diets. They work, for example, for 3 weeks or 1 month. You're losing like 15 kilograms. And after
Right.
that period, you're coming back to your old habits and you're gaining weight, and there is yo-yo effect. So what is good is to change your eating habits in such a way that healthy food, start eating healthy first of all,
Right.
and and by doing so, you can also try dieting, but it's mentioned in my book. It's a broad topic because I could talk for hours about this. So the thing is that could you repeat that question one more time?
Okay.
Because
Sustainable change is significant
oh,
focus. What are the core principles that you believe are essential for creating lasting positive changes
you have
in
to,
one's health?
after 40 years, after in the extreme situation, after 40, you have to change your diet because
Right.
metabolism changes. So if you're young and, for example, you're physically active, very much so, you may eat pizza, you may eat whatever you like, your body will manage. But
Right.
after that 40 years old, you have to change your diet and you have to switch to a healthy diet and make it for the rest of your life. There are no
Right.
shortcuts because
Right.
I don't want to say that sausages are processed. Red meat is not recommended in certain, like more than 2 kilograms per week.
Right.
But but I don't remember even the recommendation because I don't eat red
Right.
meat. And also, if it's processed, like in sausages, when you and in many meals you have some ingredients which are boosting taste. You have
Right.
a given
Flavor boosters,
fiber
flavor
boosters.
enhancement.
Yes, you have all those things to make them to prolong the longevity.
Right.
So they are not healthy. The thing is that these products, which don't have longevity are the healthiest.
Yeah.
So the thing is that you have to read labels and you have to switch to healthy diet because or healthy foods, because dieting and healthy eating is a little bit different, but still we are still talking about healthy food in both
Right.
situations. So I'm not saying that you have to diet all the time, but you have to change your meals into healthy meals, into healthy
Right.
food for good.
Yeah. So, looking back at your journey and the creation of Wellness Prescription, what legacy do you hope to leave, and how do you hope your book will impact the lives of its readers?
That people will just wonder, because I'm noticing things that, for example, there are obese people and they are eating a huge plate of ice cream, even in
Right.
Poland. They are eating large pizzas, and and I'm advocating for changing mm, food for healthy food, because
Yeah, a lifestyle change.
lifestyle changes. Oh, yeah, yes, it's really important.
Now, your journey to better health has been remarkable, and so have your professional accomplishments. What pivotal moments or experiences in your early life had a lasting impact on your personal and professional development?
It was that 40 years ago I landed up in a psychiatric hospital,
Right.
and it was I was really down then, and I needed 2 years to just be healthy again and do my things. So anyway, it was this pivotal moment. But even my mother noticed that I paid attention, that I drank, for example, carrot juice. It was from it was it was not bought in a shop, but there was a certain restaurant where they prepared it for you. So I believed that drinking that carrot juice will help me. So I started to pay attention to many details. Even then, I started to pay attention to what I eat, that I should sleep properly, 8 hours per day, that I should stay away from alcohol, that I shouldn't try cigarettes, and the thing is that uh, I mentioned what was, but when you're really down and you're rising, you are you are appreciating life more, and you are paying attention to all those details other people ignore. So it's important to you know to care about your life, because if I say, for example, that people like in my village, in towns near me, at 30, 40, 50, 60, they are dying. And my father, who is nearly 90 years old, 89, he's still intellectually active, he's physically strong, he's got good genes, but he also, if I introduced healthy eating, he started to cook in this way that it serves him and me. So I will prolong his life even more. So
That's amazing.
if he's nearly 90 and he's doing some invention project about hydrogen, about different things, I do not care about how much money he will earn, but I care that he's mentally active and he's also physically active. Like, for example,
Right.
yesterday we did some construction work by ourselves on our staircase in front of
Okay.
our. So I did it by myself. I can do carpentry. Can do plumbing. I can do whatever I like. Even this door at the back, it's done
Uh-huh.
by me. I did this from wood because, and I can do whatever is desired. But in some cases, I need the help of professionals. So anyway, I'm about being active, about being creative, because mental activity is important, intellectual activity, physical
Right.
activity, proper eating is important. So all these things are important, and there are no shortcuts.
Right. It's all mind, body, and spirit. You've got to feed all three the right food, and you can have a lot of longevity.
Yes, yes, and
Now,
also
how did, go ahead.
no, 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 no. Just
Now, how did your struggles shape your perspective on life and influence your decision to write the upcoming autobiography?
because I thought to myself that all those things that I've gone through are interesting, and uh, I'm noticing that people are not so much aware about certain things, and on the top of that, there are lots of books written in jargon. If you take cookbooks, for example, there are sophisticated recipes. For example, if my dietitian sent me to buy all those ingredients to certain meal, I spent 2 hours in a large shop to find ingredients. So it's crazy. So anyway, it doesn't have to be like a meal in a Michelin restaurant. It doesn't have to. The variety counts, and also what counts is that it should be healthy. And also I wrote something about cardiology, because like on 3 pages, and also about aerobic exercises, because i'm I'm quite aware about medical jargon, and I can explain it in a plain English. So
Okay.
also in my journey, I bought some books about, for example, cardiology. I bought some books about dieting, healthy eating, but all those books were so complicated that it was easier for me to go to a dietitian, and she like I went to her for like nearly 1 year, and she slowly introduced me to the subject of dieting and healthy eating. So, and I was experimenting on myself. So I just became aware of all those things, and I said to myself that I can write about this in a simple language,
Right.
because even here I have a book, for example, which is that thick. It could be like a reference book for me, but it's there are so many details that you don't have to know all those details, because it's not necessary. You
Right.
can explain it simple in a simple way. You don't have to, like a doctor who hasn't experienced the illness on himself or herself, writes about uh, relying on data. a huge data, and that person draws conclusions. What I'm writing is what I got to know from professionals and tried on myself, and it worked. So I
Right.
know what I'm writing about. Because if
Okay.
somebody writes like 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 it's like a lecture at medical university, it's too complicated for average people. So I think that, and also by tutoring in London, for example, maths, ICT, I realized that you have to tailor-made everything to people who don't understand, because they have books and still they want a tutor.
Right.
So that's why I concluded that I can write a simple book which in one explains accompanying which healthy eating, dieting, exercising, and defeating accompanying health issues or
Right.
illnesses. Three in one. Because, like, for example, there was a shampoo wash and go, two in one,
Right.
yes?
Yes.
Like a job, and so on. You can have one book, and in this one book, I have this one here. It's this one. It's only 120 pages, but it's everything, and it's enumerated. There are conclusions drawn at the end of each chapter, so it reads very well. But if, for example, you take like this, I have here, it's about vitamins. It's a huge and heavy book. It's really good, but wherever you open, you have so much details here
Right.
that
It makes it complicated. It's hard to understand.
you don't have to know all this. If you want to drive a car, you don't have to know how to how to repair a car. You have to
Right.
know certain tricks, for example, because I went in a gasoline car, gas car using American language to London and back. So I knew the temperature must be like this. It can't
Right.
go further.
Right.
You have to control rotation of the engine, and you have to know all those things. And for example, I took a racing petrol somewhere for 300 kilometers. It was like a Porsche, but later it was very weak. I had to stop, and I waited till the engine cooled down. I checked the oil, replenished the oil, and everything was all right. So anyway, you have to know certain things, but not everything to achieve something.
Right. Now, can you discuss some of the key milestones in your career and how did you navigate the successes and setbacks? And what lessons did you learn along the way?
I would recite Winston Churchill. Success is smoothly moving from one setback to another. Because, you know, if you had only success, like for example Elvis Presley, he had everything, money, career, everything, but it was not good. Because if is something given to you for granted, if I can
Right.
say so, you don't appreciate it. But if you fall and you rise, you are stronger. And if,
Right.
for
You keep
example,
learning.
yes, keep learning.
You
And
can,
if I'm, for example, over 61, because I'm 61 and a half, and I have a spirit of a young man. If I have, for example, shoes, sneakers for running. It's important that you have like a spring when the foot touches the ground, and then
uh-huh.
it jumps off, and you have like a curve. So if I'm going powerfully in my village, nobody dares to say anything because I'm moving at such a speed that for everybody it's just, astonishing. But anyway, I'm more fit at present. But anyway,
Uh,
I forgot about the question about it was about
How did you navigate the successes and setbacks?
yes,
And
yes,
what
yes.
lessons did you learn?
I've learned that setbacks are necessary for you to succeed because without setbacks, if everything was given to you by nature or by rich parents, you will end up very poorly, tragically. So
Right.
you have to
You
have
don't
set,
evolve.
you have to fall because life is about trials and defeating and being successful during those trials. And also we have to take into consideration what Winston Churchill said because I
Right.
like the expression.
Now, how has the process of writing both Wellness Prescription and your upcoming autobiography influenced your understanding of yourself and your journey?
By writing my autobiography, because I'm at the end of it right now, and by writing even this book about dieting, I somehow relived my life, which means that I had to go through all those setbacks one more time, and it made me realize that I was really successful, and I can say that if I'm now 61 and a half, and I'm strong because I can do construction even with this
Right.
aorta. So it means, and also intellectually, because I'm memorizing different things. I I will live more than 100 years easily.
Yeah,
Especially that in my family they lived at least 100 years or 100 years.
that is
So
amazing.
yeah. So anyway, and I'm also introducing this thing because I showed a nurse my refrigerator, and she looked at everything, and she said to me that she she wouldn't eat only it. She has to eat sausages, for example. She knows that it's not good for her, but
Right.
she still eats it. But I, I'm I'm a logical person. If I if I can improve something and I can avoid eating something which is unhealthy, why eating what is unhealthy? I I will say on the top of that that after a very after a dinner, which at dinner you eat quite a lot, I I started to drink like maybe a little less than this of wine, but I concluded on one specific occasion being in a shop, showing to another man, and he said to me, I would drink all of it at once. So
Right.
I was scared that I can become alcoholic, even if I'm not inclined that way. So I stopped drinking wine. And here is only mineral water anyway, it's not wine. So anyway,
Yeah.
I'm being cautious because you have to be cautious because I want to live quite a long period of time
Yeah.
because I have so many books. There are 6 rooms in this building and 2 corridors, and everywhere I have loads of books and I want to read them all. And I'm still buying because I switched to English, and also I noticed that I have engineering books, I have maths books, science books, about art books, but now I'm buying penguin books, and I'm noticing that they are doing like chivalry, or it's not the proper. They're juggling with sophisticated words, and I'm
Right.
in love with all those words because I'm against swearing. I think that English, American English, or any English, is so plentiful of good expressions that people do not know because it's not possible. So why bother using one word for everything? So,
Right.
so
So, um, so who or what has been your greatest influence in your life, and how did they inspire and shape your journey?
my grandmother, Helena Orawiec, she was a wonderful woman. Uh, she lived 100 years, and she had 2 daughters, Bronisława and my mother, and she didn't buy for herself anything. Whatever, because she had a hotel, and whatever she earned, she split it between her daughters. So I'm realizing that it was a huge sacrifice. So, and she wanted me to be educated, so I did this, and also my mother, Sofia
Right.
Nocon, uh, she also wanted me to be educated, and it's a long story because my education lasted for quite a long period of time because I graduated from 3 universities and 4 faculties, can I say so? 4 subjects.
Yeah.
So anyway, and I did some trainings at Schneider, for example, center where it was like a factory, but it was toy factory, but fully functional, and we were writing programs, intelligent buildings, everything, and it was expensive. One training costs like $10,000.
Wow.
So having everything, because to do such trainings like with intelligent buildings, practical and Schneider programming, you won't find it even at Massachusetts Institute of Technology because these things are expensive. Such a model of factory, fully functional, just for training purposes by Schneider, who is selling Schneider controllers. It's a German company.
Right.
So it costs a lot. So uh, usually a university cannot afford this. I think that I'm right, but I've heard a lot about MIT, so I know what guys are there because I wanted to study there, but it's too expensive. Yes,
Yeah. Higher education is a bit on the pricey side nowadays. Now, what are your hopes and aspirations for the future, both personally and professionally? And how do you plan to continue growing and contributing to your community?
um, to my I do not have to contribute to my community here because they've begun to respect me. I've noticed that I don't want to get into details, but anyway, I've been I'm respected here, but it wasn't so before. And also because I'm 61 and a half, I won't find a job in Poland. It's not possible. I can own because of my age. It doesn't matter that I'm more skillful that I and I'm more vibrant than anyone else. But age matters, so it means that whatever I do, I have to do it on my own, which
Okay.
means that I will. I started to. I've already finished studying coding in Python, and I'm interested in artificial intelligence
Oh,
because it's it's such a hot subject. Can I say so?
yeah.
Uh, Even here, for example, in 2025 and 2026, there will be huge donations by government to whoever deals with artificial intelligence. So, and schools are far behind here, uh, maybe primary, secondary schools. There is, for example, a private center in Nowy Targ and in Zakopane where they teach robotics, but robotics is not trendy nowadays. They should switch to
Right.
artificial intelligence because, but I want to analyze data. It's not about statistics, and I have loads of books, and I'm noticing that what I'm saying usually that American writers, professionals, are much more practical, and if you read them, you know, it's all you can use it. I mean,
Right.
it's it's not just theory. Because I even wrote in my autobiography that and some in the past I had problems with learning electronics, and there was Art of Electronics by Horowitz Hill. It's from Harvard University, and it's written in
Okay.
such a way that you don't have to. They don't even get down into how elements, transistors, diodes work, but they have practical introduction, and you're dealing with sophisticated circuits, and it's practical approach, and it's what counts. And I have also I've I ordered like more than 100 engineering books while studying here from Amazon, from United States of America,
Yeah.
and I found them very practical and helpful. For example, you won't borrow such a book in a library at the university. Only doctors who are writing such certain things, theories in Poland, are buying those books which I bought from grants. I mean money which they
Right.
received, and I had my sponsor, my father. So anyway, I'm noticing such things that even with this artificial intelligence, I have to focus on American books. There is, for example, book Factfulness about analyzing data,
Uh-huh.
and also so I know what to do, and I don't know where it will take me, but my English, I think, is quite good, taking into consideration this region where I'm here,
Yeah.
because I think that, for example, how to say it, Polish teachers who learned abroad, like in the UK or United States, for quite a long period of time, they can't have proper pronunciation, and I and also I could have better pronunciation by singing, because I'm singing. But the thing
Okay.
is that if I, for example, talk to my father for 20 minutes, whatever I gain, it's balancing towards Polish. So you can't, you have to choose one language, because if you have two languages, you're balancing between two languages, not to so much extreme to some extreme matter, but if you have different pronunciations, it interferes with each other. And I
Right.
also know that German is very hard. For example, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he has got, he's still got tough
Right.
pronunciation, yes. But anyway,
Right.
so I want to improve my English much
Okay.
more.
Now, as you prepare to share your life story, what final reflections would you like to leave with your listeners? And what do you hope to take away from your autobiography?
How to manage your life. Because, if we perceive life from the business definition, like from an American book, there are three constraints: time, money, and according to specification. Projects within our family are, are like business projects. I don't want to treat anybody like projects, but if you want to achieve something, you have to take all those three constraints into consideration. So anyway, I'm mentioning this definition in my autobiography, and I'm analyzing my life from this point of view. So this autobiography is written in quite a different way, because I'm a fighter. I've always been a
Mm,
fighter. Even if I went to London, nothing was waiting for me. So, so it means that I had to do it gradually. And anyway, I have loads of experience, and I'm sharing with this, like with this dieting and healthy meals. So
right.
anyway, and during my life, I had also other health issues which I completely eliminated. So anyway, and also in London, I received two certificates, not only about first aid, but also pediatric health for children.
Pediatric health.
Pediatric health for children, even if there were Englishmen there, and I was a Polish person, and I was the only one who received this certificate concerning pediatric health. So anyway, and it was not easy. So and this training lasted 5 days. So I'm still learning, and I'm just hungry for knowledge. So I want to improve more, and I think that education is the most important thing, because it's all about education. If you know certain things, you can easily adopt to other things and do other things. So the thing is that you have to be a fighter. You have to be how to say it, not like a bookworm, because all, all the knowledge is there, and there are practical books, especially in the United States of America, because I'm
Right.
noticing that they have practical approach. So, and being in London, I also noticed that you have to be practical. So now being here, I'm not recognized anymore because I'm a different person. So and I'm respected now here.
That's amazing. Well, I do appreciate your time, Marek. It has been wonderful listening to all of your stories, and I look forward to seeing your autobiography soon. So, thank you very much for your time, and you have an amazing day.
Thank you very much. And I want to mention that autobiography is coming, and it will be a wonderful one because it won't be about throwing parties, but it would be about managing your life, how to manage your life the best way possible.
Great. Thank you very much. You have a great day.
Thank you very much. It was a